What's the pettiest revenge you've ever taken at work? It started with my lunch, a turkey sandwich with a specific order: sourdough, mayo, turkey, Swiss, lettuce, tomato, pickle, mustard. That exact sequence. I'm particular about my sandwiches. Everyone knew this, especially Brenda, who sat 3 cubicles over and watched me make it every morning in the break room. Brenda ate my sandwich on a Tuesday. Not accidentally. She'd removed my Post-it note, replaced it with hers, and claimed confusion when I found her eating it at her desk. Smiled while chewing, said I shouldn't leave unclaimed food in the communal fridge. The Post-it was in her trash can, crumpled but visible. I could have gone to HR, could have confronted her professionally. Instead, I chose something pettier. Brenda was more particular than I was about sandwiches. Her desk was a masterwork of organization. Color-coded folders, label maker labels on everything, pens sorted by ink color and tip width. The keyboard is positioned at exactly 90 degrees. Monitor height was measured with a ruler she kept specifically for that purpose. Coffee mug handle always pointing southeast. Wednesday morning, I arrived early. Moved her stapler 1 inch to the left. That's all. 1 inch. Watched her arrive, sit down, reach for it, miss, look confused. She adjusted it unconsciously while reading emails, but something was off. She kept glancing at the stapler, moved it twice more before finding the right spot. Took her 20 minutes to settle. Thursday, I rotated her monitor 2 degrees clockwise, barely perceptible. She spent an hour adjusting and readjusting, brought out her ruler, measured distances, and couldn't figure out why everything felt wrong. Called IT. They found nothing wrong because nothing was wrong except for 2 degrees of rotation. Friday, I swapped 2 pens, the blue fine point with the blue medium point. Same brand, same color, slightly different width. She started writing, stopped, examined the pen, tested it, and looked confused. Wrote with the other one, stopped again, spent her morning comparing pens like a forensic analyst. This continued for 6 months. Week 2, I started documenting patterns. Brenda adjusted her chair height every morning to exactly 5 inches. I'd lower it to 17.25. She'd feel it immediately but couldn't identify what was wrong. Would spend 10 minutes micro-adjusting, never quite comfortable. Week 3, I discovered her keyboard had tiny marks where she positioned it. Pencil dots are barely visible. I'd shift it 3 millimeters forward. She'd shift it back, but never quite to the marks. Would spend the day reaching slightly too far, pulling her shoulder and stretching uncomfortably. Her label maker became my favorite tool. I'd peel labels and reapply them 0.5 millimeter higher. Not enough to consciously notice, but enough to destroy the visual harmony she'd created. She'd stare at her filing cabinet, something nagging at her brain, unable to identify the chaos. Her stress manifested physically. Started drinking more coffee, taking more breaks, asking colleagues if anything seemed different about her workspace. Everyone said no because nothing was obviously different, just slightly, imperceptibly wrong. Month 3, I got creative. Loosened her chair's left armrest by a quarter turn. Still functional but with a tiny wobble. Tightened it the next day, loosened the right one. Alternated randomly. She developed a twitch, constantly testing her armrests, never trusting them. Replaced her mouse pad with an identical one that was 1 shade darker. She mentioned it to IT. They compared it to the stock photos, exactly the same, but she knew. Kept the old one in her drawer, would swap them, trying to figure out which was original. Month 4, psychological warfare. Moved things back to their correct positions for a week. She relaxed, smiled more, then moved everything simultaneously by tiny amounts. She had a breakdown. Not dramatic, just sat at her desk making small adjustment after adjustment. Ruler out, level app on her phone, trying to recapture perfection that didn't exist anymore. The sandwich theft continued throughout. Every few weeks she'd take someone's lunch, always with plausible deniability, but she was too stressed to enjoy them. Would eat mechanically while adjusting her monitor, testing her chair height, and comparing pens. In month 6, she requested a desk relocation. Said her current spot had bad feng shui. Moved across the office. I stopped adjusting things. Let her settle into her new space. Find peace. Then I started leaving turkey sandwiches in the fridge. Perfect sandwiches. Sourdough, mayo, turkey, Swiss, lettuce, tomato, pickle, mustard. With her name on them. Not her handwriting, mine, but close enough to cause doubt. She never ate them. Would stare at them. Confused. Paranoid. Who was leaving her sandwiches? Why her name? Were they safe? Were they hers? Had she made them and forgotten? She quit last month. Said the office environment was toxic. In her exit interview, she mentioned feeling constantly unsettled, like nothing was ever quite right. HR investigated. Found nothing.